I'm going to show you around CapCut's Media panel, which is a section within the CapCut project workspace. For the most part, this is where you get stuff for your video, whether it be video clips or images or graphics or text or what have you. But there are a few exceptions. There are some things in the Media panel that aren't stuff so much as they are adjustments you can make to the stuff you already have in your project. So let's dive right in. Let's go over here and look at where we get stuff. Now, we have the import. We're on the main screen here. The top left option here is import, and that shows us this panel of our assets, things that we have imported, clips, videos, pictures, all that stuff will be right here, things that we brought in from our computer. But there's a couple other places that we can get things here. One we have is AI generated. You can, within CapCut, generate the images that you want. It gives us a prompt here, sort of a default prompt that we can use. We can adjust if we want and tell it that we're looking for a different style, either general or anime. We can tell it what aspect ratio we want this to be. So if we're working on a 9:16 project, we're doing a vertical video, it would be handy to select that. If we're doing a landscape 16:9 video, it would be handy to do that. And if you increase the steps, you'll usually end up with more detail in the image, but it will take longer to generate. So I'm just going to leave that at 30. We'll leave this default prompt in and we'll hit generate. And notice that says free there. So we will generate and it's going to give us 4 images. So we can click on one of these and see what it came out as. Oh, those are pretty nice. We can actually click through all of them and look at them. If you want to upscale any one of these, you got one that you like and you want to upscale it, you can just hit this HD button. So there we go. And if we're following this path and we've decided that we want to use this, we can just hit this little plus button and it will add it into our timeline. Right there it is. If you want to download it, you just click this little download button and it'll download it to your computer. You can also go over here to the showcase and it will show you some images that have been generated and you can see the exact prompt that was used. If you like an image, you want to use that prompt, you can just say use prompt. And it'll pop that prompt right in here so that you can generate. Now, you're not going to get exactly that image, but you'll get something in that style, something that's hopefully pretty close. And there we have it. Those are all pretty close. We just click them, we see them bigger in the preview window over here. And then as we did before, you can either download, add it to your project, drop it on the timeline, or just keep on going. If you don't like any of the 4 images it created, you just hit this little retry button right here and it'll create 4 more for you. These kinds of AI images can be really handy, especially if you're looking for B-roll in a video. You've got some gaps you want to fill, you want to keep things moving, and there just aren't any pictures out there of what you're talking about. Plus, we've got the options now. We can take this AI image, we can go over here to our AI stylize, and we can come down here to style and motion, and maybe we apply a 3D zoom, and look at that. I mean, that's much better than having just a static image. We actually get some movement that's a little different than the typical pan and zoom. All right, beyond AI generated, the next place you have where you might have stuff is in spaces. And you can see I have one space because I'm one person with one account and I don't have a team or anything like that. And these are all clips that I have added into my space. Now, something that drives me a little bonkers here is that you can't add things to your space. You have to go to the CapCut website and log in there and add things into your space from there. Even if I try and take something from my timeline and drag it in, it doesn't work. It doesn't go there. And there's no option within here to add to this space. But these are for clips and videos that you're going to be reusing, that you want to have access to within CapCut nice and easy all the time. Stock materials, they do have a ton of stock assets. The organization is a little bit wonky. I had this filtered by commercial. If I switch this to all, now it includes the materials that I've created in here, the AI generated things that I have created. And the best way to find things in here is probably to search, because I don't know how many assets are in here. It's a ton. And if you just try and scroll through everything, you'll be there all day. So you can come up here to the search and whatever you need, say you need mountains, Well, there you go. There are your mountains. You can, once you've entered a search term, you can select by type. You can say videos, pictures, or no limit means all, any type. And you can also sort by orientation. So if you're working on a 16:9 video, you can look for just landscape things. If you're working on a 9:16, you can look for just portrait things. Adding something into CapCut once you find it here in the library is pretty simple. You click on it to preview, as you do with any others, and the plus sign here will add it onto your timeline. So there we go. The next spot you have where you can find stuff is your brand assets, and under brand assets you can have images or videos. And again, just like the spaces, you can't add to here from within here. If I want this video in, I can't just drag it in, it won't go in. If I right click in here, there's nothing to do. And if I click on edit, it tells me that I have to manage the brand assets in the brand kit, which you have to do by their website. So images, I have my logos in here. Those are things that I would probably use fairly frequently in videos. And then you can add other brand assets in videos. So you've got a couple of different places that you can add things here, both the spaces. When you create a CapCut account, you get a space assigned to you. So maybe that's where you store everything. And then in the brand assets might be things that are specific to the brand. I would prefer that they gave us more than one brand to work with so that we could, if we're working on different things, different channels, different brands, we could have them separately stored, but we don't. We just have one. So it is what it is. Working across this menu to the right, the next thing that we can see is audio. The first option we have is music. And if we go ahead and click on music, it'll drop down some different categories. They don't necessarily match music genres, but they are categories. So you can sort a bit. You can search here. So if you kind of know what you're looking for, you can type in something like, we'll do lo-fi, and see what it comes up with. To sample these, you can just click anywhere on it. I'm not going to let these play too long because I don't know how the copyrights work with CapCut Music and YouTube. Just haven't explored it yet. I haven't needed to, so I don't want to get too far into that. If you find one that you like and you want to use, you just hit the plus button and it will add it into your project. Popped up right down here in our timeline. If you find something that you like that you might want to use later, you can just hit this little star button to favorite. The filters do really nothing for you. It's just all or commercial, so not much filtering going on. It's not like you can sort, filter by beats per minute or genre or anything like that. Sound effects work very much similar to the way that the music does. You have the different categories over here. You have the big list of what's available. To sample something, you just click anywhere on it.
Oh my gosh!
If you want to use it in your project, hit the plus button. It'll drop on your timeline. You can favorite it by hitting the star. You can search the same way you do for music. Over here, the filters are not useful. And that's about it for sound effects. The copyright check is checking for copyrights so that you don't have issues on TikTok specifically. You can hit this little check button and it'll tell you if it finds a copyright issue with the music that you're using. Doesn't help you if you're using any other platform. It says right here that it is just TikTok. Extract audio allows you to take some video and just pull the audio out of it. So we can do that here. So let's grab this video here. We brought it in here and we're going to click the plus sign. And what this is doing now is just bringing the audio in, not the video, just the audio. So it took a video that I had, it got rid of the video stuff, and it drops in my audio down here. You also have brand music within the audio, and these isn't just music. Like in my case, I've added a bunch of sound effects in here. These are the audio clips that I tend to use over and over again. So I went ahead and added them as brand music. That way I have them in here and I don't have to go hunt for them and import them every time I want to use them. Text in CapCut. We have all kinds of options. That's the good news. So let's get right to it. Up here on this menu, up near the top left, right after audio, we click on text. We have default text. When you click on this, you're going to get a preview of what it is, and the preview is going to happen wherever you have your playhead. So if I have my playhead here in the middle of nowhere and I click this, it'll just show it to me on a black screen. If I move my playhead over top of a clip and I click it, then I'll see what it looks like on that clip. So keep that in mind, especially as you're trying to figure out, like, is this the right size? Is it going to fit where I want it? That kind of thing. So I'm going to move back over here and let's see. So we've got default text. We also have some presets, and you can save presets. That's the good news. If you find something you like, you can save it to your presets. The two that it came up with here is just the default text. It's some small white text with a black outline, or the other default, which is small black text with a white outline. If this is the text you want to use, you just hit the plus sign and it drops into your timeline wherever your playhead was. If we zoom in a little bit, we can see about how long this is going to be. And this is fine if we just want it to sort of, show up and disappear. But if we want this text to stay for the whole scene, then we just need to drag it left or right. And that'll make it stay on for longer. Now, worry not if this is too boring for you. You've got many ways to make your text much more creative. One is to come over here into the properties and settings and make the adjustments you want. Next, we have an option to create AI-generated text. We click this button here, and these are some of the ones that I've created, just sort of playing around. Down at the bottom, it says enter your text and effect description. So where it says enter text, that's where we put in the text that we want to actually show up on the screen. And on the right side is where you tell it what you want that text to look like. If you know exactly what you want, you can type it in there. For the text we want to display, I'm just going to say road trip since we have a car and a road. And then over here, it gives you a sample prompt. You can also hit this shuffle button here and switch around and get some other random ideas. If you don't like any of those that come up, you can hit the showcase, go see what other users have come up with. And if there's something you'll see here that you like, you can go ahead and hit the use prompt button, but it will change the text to whatever was used in their prompt. So we wanted road trip here, not metal. But since we brought in that prompt, it didn't just bring the description, it also brought the text. So we need to change that back. There we go. And I'm not really interested in that particular design. So let me shuffle here a minute, and blue clay looks good. If we want to adjust the font that's going to be used for this, we can click this adjust button and pick whichever we want. I think I'm going to go with Oliver. Click out of that to make it apply and hit generate. If we don't like what it did, we can hit this button here and make it regenerate based on the same settings. If we want to change the settings, there's an edit button here, but all it's doing is making sure that this form is displayed. So that's why it looks like it's not doing anything. If we like this and want to add it to our project, you should be able to just hit the plus button, but for some reason today, it is not cooperating with me at all. I've had this happen and then I restart CapCut, then it works. Maybe the robots are taking the day off or something, I don't know. Another way you can add text is using something here called effects, and I really wish these were called styles instead. That would make more sense to me, but they aren't. So here from the media panel, if you want to add text and you want to start out with something other than the default, something that's a little more interesting than these sort of plain versions, you can go to the effects under text, and you'll see you've got some categories you can pick from. You can just click on any one of these to preview it over top of your current video, wherever the playhead is. Switch around, take a look and see if there are any that you like. And if there's something that you do like and you want to add, just click this plus button. That'll drop it in on your timeline. It's teensy-tiny down there. Let me zoom in. And then to change this text to something more meaningful than default text, come up here on the right-hand side. The text properties will be open, set to basic with this box ready for you to type in whatever you want to type. If you get to working along here and later down the line you're in some different place, maybe you've got this back on the import tab and you're over here looking at a video, you're watching your videos through, and you realize that you just don't like the style of that text, you can always click on it. The properties will open up. And within the properties, the third tab over is effects. And we went through these in the video I did on text properties, but you'll notice these are the same effects that you could use to add text. So on the left-hand side, the media panel under effects, when we click the plus button on one of these, we're adding a new text element to the video and timeline. Over here on the right, if we clicked one of these, even though it might be identical to what's on the left, what we're actually doing here is changing existing text. In this case, we've selected this default text and we're changing it to a different text effect. The next way we have that we can add text is coming down to text templates. And there are tons of templates down here. And you'll see some things that have been generated by AI. Oh, that's interesting. So it lets me add that one there, but it doesn't seem to be recognizing the ones we just generated. So I'd say there's a glitch in the matrix somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. We have plenty of other options here in the text templates. Some of these are still and some of them are motion. You can preview any style that you like by just clicking on it, and if you want to add it into your timeline, hit the plus button, and there it is on the timeline. Make that a little bit bigger, show you where it will appear on your video. Like anything else, as long as it's selected, you can click it and drag it around wherever you want. To change the text that's being used in this template, you just come over to your properties and you'll have 1 paragraph, 2 paragraph, and you can change that to whatever you want. We're going to change ours up to weekend road trip. I go through all the text properties that can be adjusted over here in this properties panel in another video, so check that out if you want to see all the details. But do know that at least in my case, when I add a new text template and I come over here to the properties, this isn't all usually showing for me, but there are a couple things you should know. One is that when we first add this text template in, we don't get all these properties available to us. I only get them when I come back in and double click on one of the actual words, not out on the outside. When I first drop it in, you saw there was very little there we could edit, but now that I've double clicked into one of these words, I get more options with colors and blending and all those kinds of things that I did not have before. Also, this can get a little confusing, but inside your text properties, where you would make changes to text that you have on the screen, there is a templates option. This will be showing you the templates that you're seeing over here. And the difference is that the templates that are seen on the left side in the media panel, this is when you're going to add text. If you have no text there and you want to add something, clicking on it and hitting the plus button to add it to your timeline, that adds it. That adds new text that wasn't there before. And what you're seeing in the templates over here, let's scroll back a little bit. Actually, let's just bring our other text over top. All right, separate that out a little bit so we can see things. When we selected a template here from the media panel on the left and clicked the plus sign, it added this new text template thing in here. But if we select a template that's already there, or any text that's already there, even if it's just we put in the default text and we come over in the properties and click one of these templates, it's going to try and use the text that was already there and apply this template style to it. So I just want to share that. It had me a little bit confused to begin with because I had text templates here and I had text templates here. And then I figured out that in the right side properties panel, the templates are you're applying a template to text that's already there. And the text templates on the left side in the media panel, those are where we're adding fresh new text using that template. And then we can go change the text. We made a big mess of that for sure. Just going to clean that up a bit. The next text option we have is auto captions, and this is super duper handy. So you select the source language that the video is in. You select a translated language if you want the transcripts to be in something other than the source language, and you have some choices there to pick from, and then you click generate. If you already have captions on the video and you select this clear current captions option, it'll wipe those out and regenerate them. That is super handy if you have edited, made changes, put stuff in different places, or even trimmed things out in different spots that's going to make the text land in a different place than it was originally. You check this box, hit generate, and it'll redo, realign, everything will be in the right place once again. And there we have our brand new captions. There's lots of ways to style these captions to dial them in to look exactly how you want, and I go through that in the video that covers the properties panel. You also have the option to load local captions. You can import an SRT, LRC, or ASS captions. Next up in CapCut, we have stickers. Now, what are stickers? For the most part, they're graphics. Most of them are going to be objects and elements. There are some photos mixed in there, and some might even be animated. To find stickers, usually will be on the import screen when we start, so just come over here a couple, you'll find stickers, click on that, and it drops you into the second item, which is stickers. Above it we have AI generated, and below it we have brand, but most of what you're going to find is right here in the stickers. You can scroll as you can with any of the stock media and look at what they have. A lot of these things are available without a paid CapCut subscription. They're available in the free plan. plan, and those that require a pro subscription are marked with this little pro icon. You might have some memes in here too, and all kinds of good stuff. For instance, one that we just scrolled past that was kind of interesting is this little blur. This is a sticker, not an effect, but if we drop that guy on our timeline and say I want to blur out my face there, we could drop that on, and now I'm blurred out. And you can also search up here for whatever you're specifically looking for. Maybe you need a rectangle. It'll give us all the options of rectangles that are available. Now, if we want to use one of those in our project, we can click to preview, we can hit the plus button and add it onto the timeline. If you want to change the size of it, that's not a problem. You can do that in a couple of ways. You can either come right over here to scale and zoom that down, or you can grab these little corner circles and move it in or out. Now, there's not much you can do with stickers as far as editing them. You'll see over here we have the stickers item up in the properties window, and we don't have a place here where we can change the color or the opacity or anything like that, like you might find with graphics in Canva. So what you see is what you get over here. You can change the size of it and the position, but that's about it. Now, you can apply animation to it if you choose. So you can have it bounce in, you can have it spring up. I'm going to move this over so it's not previewing on top of something where there's audio. And you can apply tracking if you want to on the stickers, but that's it. So when you're looking for stickers, you can't just say, well, an index card looks good and okay, it's green, I can change it to purple. As I said, some of these things are animated. Let's go look at arrows. And if you hover over them, you'll be able to see if they're animated. As with all the other media assets, if you click on it, it'll show it in the preview window so you can see what it looks like. Now, if you don't see something you like in there, you can also come up here to AI Generated and generate your own thing. So describe the sticker you want to generate, and you have an adjustment option where you can say you want a cartoon, you want a stroke, a collage, oil painting, any of those things. We'll just stay with cartoon as our style. We'll go ahead and, let's refresh this. A cupcake with a cherry on top. Well, that sounds delicious. So we'll hit generate there. Now in this section in the stickers, your options for the 4 generated images that it gave you that look very, very similar, you can download those. You can drop those in your timeline by clicking the plus sign. There is not an option here to upscale those. We don't have that little HD button. We can still regenerate all 4 of these if we want to, and we have the option to edit. And edit just means edit our prompt and try again. So we could add some more to that. Now we can switch this over to and say, well, let's do a oil painting. We'll change that. Let's get a different prompt. Okay, a plate of strawberries. Let's see what it comes up with. This time we said oil painting instead of cartoon, so it should have a little bit of a different vibe to it. Something you will notice with the stickers, unlike when we did the AI generation over there by the stock media under this import, with this, it's a cutout, so there's a transparent background. If we want to take one of these strawberry pics and drop it in our image, we just click the plus sign. And there we go. There's our plate of strawberries. And if I wanted to drop that, over top of myself over here, you can see that how it's got the transparent around it. Anything that a sticker doesn't exist for already, you can come create a sticker right here. You can also look at the showcase and see what other people are doing. They have this by style up here, so you can see what people have created in different styles, even some text there. And if you like any of these, you just click use prompt and it'll drop the prompt in there for you to start with. And the brand stickers, these are just stickers that you have added to your brand kit. And again, there's no way to do this in here. I can't just take a sticker I like and drop it in here. I have to add that in my brand kit. So I need to go online to CapCut and do that. The next thing we want to look at in CapCut is effects. And so we click this effects tab up top here. And you see that we have video effects and we have body effects. The difference is that the body effects are focusing on a body, on a human figure. So you'll need to have a human figure in your video if you want to use those. And there are a few of these that are free in the body effects, but most of them are part of the paid CapCut subscription. When you click on one of these, it'll give you a preview of what it's going to look like on the video that your Playhead is currently on top of. So if I drop this in right here and I come click this one, you get to see what it's going to do on a little section of the video there. That was a free one. We can also do this glare thing and give myself a chalk outline. We can have some lightning. I can flip myself inside out. All kinds of wild things I can do here. It looks like a lot of these are part of the Pro CapCut subscription. So if you're wanting to stay free, just kind of, ignore all those things with the Pro, or maybe don't even think about effects too much, body effects. In the video effects, again here, we do have quite a few that are pro. There are, though, it looks like, look, this whole right column so far is looking like they're part of the free. Now, these are not focused on finding a human figure, a body. You don't have to have a person in your video to use these. And so we can say flickery. All the trendy things going. That might not be so good for a talking head video, but hey, what if we take it over here and we look at it on our train? Yeah, I don't know, a bit much maybe. Oh, that's a fairy one. That's what's going on over there. Okay. You have all these options over here, all these categories to look at. Go down, we can look at like TV. So we've got some 1998 TV. That's kind of fun. We've got our old colorline TV, a retro camera, which adds the heads-up display there on it. We can have scans. We can have that do all kinds of things. We've got celebrations. We can party down. And I think what I've got going on here, that choppiness, I think I left an AI effect in place. So I want to turn that off, that auto velocity. So I'll stop twitching there. So there, that's turned off. Going back to trending, this is what CapCut's telling us is hot right now. So we've got a little blur in. We can change that to 4K HDR. Wild lights give you some kind of a headache or something. A glitch intro. Start our Christmas collage. Now we've just got a little bit of a rebound swing. It's just some camera movement, basically. We can sharpen up those edges. I'm going down the free side here at the moment. Boy, make that really old in the 80s. So your effects, you have tons of options, is what I would say. All right, transitions. What transitions are used for is when you're going from one visual element to another. All right, so let's say I'm talking here, and then we're going to switch to a scene that is this guy skating. So right now, it is just a plain cut, a simple cut. And maybe we want to transition over that. Maybe that's too stark. So we can add something here. We can add a transition. Again, any of them that are marked with Pro, require you to have a CapCut paid subscription. A lot of these do not require such a subscription. Anyone that we want, we can either hit the plus sign, or what I like to do is click it and drag it down over top of the seam where the two pieces are going to meet, where the two clips are going to meet. I like to drag it over top and drop it so I know exactly where it is. Sometimes you'll get this where it says clips are too short for a transition, create duplicate frames that'll make it worth. Yeah, that's fine. And you can tell it, yeah, don't remind me again this session about this, just make it happen. So make it happen, and then what you'll see is how this works. So now instead of just that sharp cut, it does a little shaky. Let's say we want to do a lens blur. We can drop that on there. Come back over, see what that does. There are tons and tons and tons of transitions in here. You've got categories over here, the trending, the pro, the overlay, movement, blur, all kinds of different things, even splits and masks and all that stuff. So you can narrow down this pile that you're looking at by one of those categories. Maybe we want to have this one drop down. We do the sliding memories. We put it over there. We come over, click play to preview it. That looks pretty good. If we don't want to drag these down to look at them, if we just want to kind of see, we can click right there and it'll give us that preview. It sort of goes to our nearest transition there and shows us what it would do, how it would make that transition look. And there we go. That's what that would look like. And then we can also drag them on and see how they look and make adjustments. So let's say I decide to use this black fade here and drop it on. Over on the right, the adjustment I can make here is the duration, and I can do that in this properties panel. I can raise that up, which means now it will take 1 full second for that transition to occur. If I don't want it that long, I can lower that number down either by the up and down arrows or the slider, or I can come down here on my timeline and just get on one side or the other, click and drag. It'll keep it centered, but it'll drag the time down. So as you can see up in the upper right, I'm changing that out from over a second to down. I can take it, you can take it shorter, but I'll go 0.5 seconds. And now that transition will take less time to play through. And there we go. You could get lost and spend an entire day playing just with transitions and effects in here. There are so many and they all do something quite unique. So let's go look at filters next, and these are a lot like transitions, but the difference being here that most of these are manipulating color and focus and that kind of thing. They're not so much about movement. So let's take a look at a few of these. So here we're back to my ugly mug. We can go crystal clear and see how it changed the colors and everything. Reindeer. Sometimes the names on these don't make any sense to me whatsoever, but you just click them and see what they do then. We've got the ghost, which gets me all purpley, candy cane, the pumpkin, the Bad Bunny. I don't know what that has to do with Bad Bunny. That's what I'm saying about these names. But hey, if you just click and check them out, you can see exactly what they do. Some of these are pro, some of them are free. This Blue Hour is a pro one. I didn't see anything in that I couldn't get just as well from, the Ghost or one of these other ones that we've already looked at. They were close enough. We can black and white the thing quite easily there. Barbie it up, some orange and blue pop. And if there's a filter in here that you like that works good for your video, maybe you can avoid having to fool with all that color grading stuff that, kind of goes, that is way too much to store in my head. And maybe this is why, because I know I can usually come in here and get the color that I'm looking for from one of these filters. And if the filters don't do it for you, you've got another option in CapCut, and that is adjustment. So adjustment, remember we had adjustment over in our details when we clicked on a video. We had an adjustment option over here on the right in the properties and settings pane, whatever this is called. We could auto adjust over here and make things pop out, or we could come down, turn on adjust, and then play with these sliders and numbers and do what we wanted to do. Well, you also have an adjustment option over here, and this will apply to everything beneath it on the timeline. So adjustment, we want custom adjustment, and if we go ahead and add that on, right here is where this adjustment is going to happen. You can drag it out, make it longer or shorter. With adjustment selected, now we have adjustment going on over here. So we can auto adjust there. Even though we don't have that train selected, we don't have that train video selected, we've applied this adjustment layer over top of the text, the arrow, and of this train and highway video. So it's adjusting everything under it. To see that, if you scroll off, now you see it just changed. If we go back and we go before, we don't have the adjustment anymore. So what if we move this down here? Well, you'll see it's not there, not there, not there. It's only underneath this adjustment layer where that adjustment has been applied. We can also turn off auto adjustment, and we can come down a little bit. You can use this as an adjustment layer to apply a LUT if you want to. Those are just files that are saved. They're in a specific format. A LUT file that has certain color grading. That's exactly how you want to color grade something. Very big in photography and videography. To have these lighting, maybe filters or adjustments. It's sort of a template. Not going to mess with that. We're going to come down to adjust, and here we can make this thing all kinds of blue. We could even saturate that up. We can take the tint so those green trees really do their thing. And let's see. Now you notice here that this is above all these layers. So it is even changing the train text. That was white text. And by adding this adjustment layer, it changes it too. So it's really getting everything under that layer. And again, out here where we don't have that adjustment layer, it's normal. As soon as we hit it, the adjustments are applied to everything below the adjustment layer. If we wanted across the whole thing, we could do that. We can drag it out and have it go across that whole clip. We can even move this over, this little ugly picture here, and I'll drag the adjustment halfway through. Now take a look. Okay, there's me. Boom. Now the adjustment kicked in. So the adjustment started halfway through this clip, which is actually just a photo that's showing up for 3 seconds or something, and then it carries on all the way through the train thing. So these are not, this adjustment is not a one-to-one relationship with any clip. It's applying to everything that is below it. Now that is the custom adjustment. We also have presets, and I only have 2 presets in here. I don't know if anybody else has more or how that works, but brand filters 1. Okay, that was not too exciting. And then we have brand filters 2. And so that's what that looks like. If I want to apply that, I just click plus. It's going to drop right where my playhead is down here on the right. There we go. And you can make some adjustments to it from there if you want. That just started you off with a preset, but you can work from that point and change it up. You know, I can say, well, let's make that tinted a little more to the purple end. Or all the way to this. That's probably magenta. I don't know. Whatever it is. You can have your LUTs stored over here. I don't have any of those going on. We saw the LUTs over here, and we didn't partake of those in here either. The last thing that we want to look at here in our big overview of CapCut is templates. Those can be found not only on the home screen, you'll see an option for those on the home screen, but those are also here in this sort of main menu coming over to the last one that says templates. And here we have tons of templates, and I'm not a big user of these. I do want to show you that they're here. Like all the other stock assets, you have a bunch of different categories that you can choose from. You can search up here for something specific that you're looking for. Let's say we like this pug guy. I'm going to go ahead and... All right, got the preview. I'm going to download that. And so now it has dropped it into my timeline right over here. And what most of these have going on is that they have an image or a clip or multiple images or multiple clips built into the template that are just placeholders, and they want you to replace that before you make any edits. So if I wanted to shorten this up, it says, no, you got to replace the clips first. So if I click here, then this little thing will pop up with a replace. So then I can click there, pick an image, and replace it. And now it has that picture I selected pop up in the middle there. Now, if you have this selected, you can also come up here on the right and you can change the scale, position, and size so we can make this whole thing bigger if we want. If I'm clicked down on this template part where the picture is up there and the template is down here in my timeline, I have this text option, the paragraph, so where it said send this to everyone so they get pugged, you can change all that text. Then you can switch over to the audio and turn that video volume and music volume to where you want it. I don't want to be dismissive of the templates because I'm sure they have their purposes and are very useful to a lot of people. It's just not a tool that I use. There may be better ways to manipulate them that I just haven't figured out yet. Unless I'm missing something, they're just not my jam. If you don't have CapCut yet, there's a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, which means I may receive a small commission if you end up purchasing something. You don't have to. Hey, go try the free. It might do everything you need. And I certainly appreciate it when folks do use my affiliate links. If you want to keep going exploring CapCut with me, watch this video right here.